Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to register your own domain name. For example, a .com, .org, .net, etc. And I'm going to show you all the steps along the way for buying a real domain name. And for this video, I'm going to actually buy a real domain name. Now for a quick overview of the steps for registering your own website domain. So first you'll do a whois search, and I'll talk about that later, for domain names you are considering. And of the domain names that are available, you'll decide to buy one or more. And then finally, you'll go to a domain registrar and actually buy the domain or domains. Okay, let's jump right in. Now, we're going to go to Google and just search for whois. And this will give you different websites that can do whois searches. Now I want to give you an example. Let's say that we wanted to buy the domain name google.com, but we didn't know that it actually was owned. So we can search in a whois tool, look it up, and what the whois does is it gives you information about the owner if it has one, and it gives you expiration date, last updated date, and when it was originally created. So Google was originally created 1997. And sometimes you'll have mailing addresses you can mail things to. They have it in there. Now let's try a different website. Okay, likewise, let's try another example where we know that the domain name is taken, but we're going to pretend that we don't already know that. So let's try bing.com. Let's do a whois search for that. Okay, so it says that bing.com is not available, and if you look at the whois information, it gives you various contact information for Microsoft. Now let's try a domain name that probably isn't already taken. Let's try a really long domain.com. I would never buy such a domain, but this is just to prove a point. So a really long domain.com is available. So in theory, that means that we could go to a domain registrar and buy this. And the domain I want to buy for this video, it's this domain, exampleeshop.com. Now let's pretend that we don't know it's not taken. Let's do a search for it. exampleeshop.com. So fantastic. It's available, and that means you can go and buy the domain from a domain registrar. So now we've done steps 1 through 2, and now step 3 is to actually buy the domain. And once you know that a domain is available by doing a whois search, you can go to a domain registrar and actually buy the domain. And here are some examples of domain registrars: Namecheap, GoDaddy, EuroDNS, and many more. And in this video, I'm going to use Namecheap to buy this domain, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now we're ready to buy the domain, and as I mentioned, I'm going to use Namecheap, so namecheap.com, to buy the domain. And just to double check, I'm going to search to see if exampleeshop.com is available. So this is basically doing a whois search of Namecheap. Okay, so exampleeshop.com is available. Fantastic. Let's add to cart. Okay, now go to checkout. So here it shows you buying the specific domain or domains, and this comes with domain privacy for free with Namecheap, and it's something that's enabled by default, and I highly recommend it. If you don't use Whois protection, people might be able to get your personal contact information that you use to register the domain, and I don't like doing that ever. When I can avoid it, I avoid giving out my personal information. So that's what this does. Okay, so let's confirm order. You now need to sign up, create an account here. So I just finished creating a username, and now it's asking for my contact information, and I'm not actually going to send this. This is just for example purposes. Let's say that you work at a company called Acme and your job title is CEO. Now the address and phone numbers default to US, but let's say you were in Hong Kong, a place I like very much. Say we're on 1234 Example Street. Your country is Hong Kong. And the city is Hong Kong and the state is Hong Kong. And Hong Kong doesn't actually use postal codes, so just add zeros, 1, 2, 6 zeros. And for the phone number, I'll just put a fake phone number. And if you want, you can add fax number. And for this email, this is a temporary email I got online. So just for the purposes of this video. And once you fill out the contact information, then you continue. And it's going to ask you to verify registrant, administrative, and technical contacts, but they'll default to being all the same unless you want to have them be different for some reason. And the same for your billing contact. Okay, everything seems good. I continue. And this is the last step, I believe. So you need a credit card, and you'll put your credit card information here, or you'll use PayPal or Bitcoin. And they'll send you an email receipt, and also when it's done, it will show you some kind of finished page that you can print out to prove that you've paid for it and you own the domain. After you enter your credit card information in and proceed, there's one final step on Namecheap, and that's basically to confirm all your information. And then once you go from there, you'll pay for the domain, and you should get an email with a some kind of an invoice or receipt. And this was something I was able to download from the final page to show that I had bought this domain. And I redacted some personal information here, but the important thing is I bought this domain and it came with free domain privacy, which is Whois protection, and paid with credit card. And now I own the domain. Now, to confirm that I actually bought the domain and own the domain, I'm going to do a whois search for exampleeshop.com. And remember, previously it was available. Do a lookup. It says it was registered today, the 17th, at this time UTC, and it expires on this date, and the registrar was Namecheap. And as you can tell, you can't see any of my personal information, and this is because I have whois protection. Okay, so just verified that I now own the domain. Now we'll move on to the next part of this video. Once you've registered a domain, here are some things you might want to note. Soon after registering your domain, you might get an email about verifying your whois contact information for ICANN. This is normal. You might just need to confirm your email address, and it's possible you might need to wait 24 to 48 hours after verifying your whois contact info before you can access your domain again. And this is also normal. This is very common. ICANN is an organization that manages much of the internet's domain name system, including .com domains. You might be wondering which domain registrars I recommend, and here's a list of those. So I recommend Namecheap for .com domains. I've used Namecheap for many years, and I think they have excellent customer service and great prices, especially for .com domains. If you want to register a country code top-level domain, such as .eu, .pl, that's for Poland, .sg, that's for Singapore, .jp, that's for Japan, and .es, this is for Spain, I recommend EuroDNS. It's quite good. Now I want to give you a quick overview of some of the domain name extensions that EuroDNS supports. So I'm going to scroll through this, but they really do have over 1,000 different ones you could buy. You could use as your domain extension. And a lot of these two-letter domain name extension you might use in a URL shortener. Okay, so Austria, Australia, .ban, .bank. Pretty much they're going to have every European country and most of any type of city extension in Europe. Also Asia and US and Canada. Probably most of South America. The other day I was looking into Poland domains, and it's a decent price, I think. I was also looking into Portugal domains, .pt, and I also looked into .eu domains, which I think is not bad. The price, about 18 euros. So EuroDNS really is quite awesome for these country code top-level domains, and they support more top-level domains than I've seen in any other domain registrar. Lastly, if you happen to want to buy from a domain registrar in Ireland, or you just want to register a .ie domain, I think Let's Host.ie or Blackknight.com are great choices. Both of them have good customer service. And at the moment, I have a .ie domain with let's host.ie. So you can't go wrong with either of those. Congratulations! You now own your own domain name. I'll explain in later videos what you'll need to do next to have an actual website up and running. There are various steps along the way. And I'll have links to the various domain name registrars in the description of this video. And some of them may be affiliate links. And I'd really appreciate if you could use those links. They'd really help this channel and help me and would motivate me to make more videos like this. Okay, if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you like, share this video. Thank you.